What's up, everybody? It's your favorite reformatted favorite nerd, and today we are looking at Galvatron, the last figure on loan to me from Paul C, and then I can ship him everything back. It's the end of an era, really. But anyway, hopefully I'll feel up to date with my Hasbro knowledge after this one. I think I will. With that being said, we are going to look at this guy, but in order to do so, we need to start with accessories. So he comes with the Autobot Matrix of Leadership on a chain. And it looks like it's glued on. If not, it's really snug. The chain is the cheesiest chain I have ever seen, ever. McFarlane's 90s stuff put this to shame. This is the shame chain. It's awful. But the Matrix is decoed well. It's just reused from the other times that they've used it, right? I think. It would be my guess. I don't know for sure. But it does sit nicely around his neck. It just still looks like cheap gray plastic. Necklace can go over top of the cannon as well. And then it plugs into the chest. Yeah, I don't know. Still looks ridiculous. And he has his signature cannon. It does split into two pieces. And it's orange translucent, but this part is kind of decoed, which is a little odd to me. Like, I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking there. I'm not sure what purpose that serves, other than probably hiding unsightly innards, would be my guess. But then why not just paint it all the way to this section here? You know, there's a natural groove for it anyway. Don't disturb this groove. And then you got silver paint here, and I think this is black plastic. And of course, it integrates onto his arm, and I put it on the lower one, but it'll go in any 5mm port. It's supposed to go up here, I believe. That can be stored in vehicle mode by putting this here, and then you could plug this really anywhere where there's a 5mm port. There's one up here, and I think this is supposed to sit back there, but like when you have this back there, it's a little tight. It doesn't quite look as right. You could just have it up here, and I think that's okay. I don't know. Up to you, I suppose. And yeah. He comes with these two things. They look like the ship, right, that he flies in, but I don't know. It's not the right color for one, and for two, it doesn't quite look like it. Like, it looks like it's trying to look like it. And they do combine, but they barely stay together once combined. You know, so it's like, it's just, I think it's a loss all the way around. But he will hold it. You know, and then theoretically, if you could ever get them to stay, you know, he could hold them together as well, but they just don't want to. And then these are intended to sit alongside the cannon, which I think is actually a pretty clever way to store them. I'm just not sure if these really do much for this piece, you know, in general. But you can have that look if you so desire. So let's talk about the figure. We'll start with the head sculpt, and I think it's pretty good. Mouth is a little weird, so to speak, but I think overall it's pretty good. The head itself seems to be on a ball peg. Very limited articulation. Hardly anything up, hardly anything down. You do get the swivel. Not really, well, maybe hardly confused Galvatron look. Barely. So that's a bit of a bummer. We have silver paint up here on the shoulder mounts, which look good. And then we have the wear and tear, right? Which I thought they were done with, but it rears its ugly head. I don't hate it on... Can you guys hear that? It's like somebody playing music like really loud outside my house. I don't hate it so much on the purple, and the Decepticon symbol looks okay, although it does look pink. The red and silver look good, but I do hate it down here where they just took a brush and went like this across it. It looks junky. And I think the figure would probably look better without any of it, to be fair. Disc hinges for shoulders that get you all the way up. And they get you all the way around. You get a bicep swivel. It's two-toned purple. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, this purple doesn't match this purple. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if I feel like it makes it look more interesting or more junky. So if at the very least, it's not offensive. We have a double jointed elbow that gets you the full range. We have a wrist swivel and an interesting pose for the fingers. Like, it's not your typical, you know, Transformers mainline fist pose, which I just noticed. Interesting. Same for this side. We have a waist swivel. No ab crunch. We have our hip skirts here that'll get up and out of the way for basically another set of disc hinges that get you more than the full Van Dam and the full Monty. You get a thigh swivel. You get a knee that gets you 90 degrees. You get the gray plastic that doesn't look great. I'll be honest with you. I miss some paint on here. The black, red, and purple look fantastic. Then you get back to the gray, and then you get that ugly wear and tear across there. No ankle tilts down, no ankle tilt up. You do get a rocker, and the tips of his shoes are painted black, which I think are pretty iconic. Like wingtip shoes that he's got. And there he is from the back, which is, I think, fair. I think it's a pretty clean representation of him. Size comparison-wise, there he is with a Seeker, and that, to me, works very well. All right, let's get him transformed. So, fist goes inside those hollow forearms, and then using the double elbow, you come up and tab in to the shoulder, and then bring this down and around, and it's supposed to come in kind of at an angle. There. And I wish that actually connected a bit better. So, same for this side. Hands in, double jointed elbow up, and around. This comes around, and those are set. Then you want to pull the shoulders away from the torso. Open this up. Open this up. You want to tuck the head inside. Well, you actually got to use this whole front section to do so. Tuck the head inside. Bring this down and around. And I think that can get a little tighter. I'll work on that. And then this whole section comes down and sits flat so that this piece can then come down there. So it's basically like you moved his chest and torso area down to the front of his pelvis. And then you can move this up and straighten that out. Then fold in the heel spurs and bring these pieces out and around and tab them in to the purple piece. Like there's a tab here and you want to connect the purple piece to it. And then this is going to sit up like this, but you got to bring down this whole section here. Actually, because you want to have this out to the side, and then bring down this whole section on both sides, and then tab all of this together. And it's a series. Like there's 1, 2, 3 that you want to tab together. And then this piece comes down and connects as well. All right, now you got to get these hip skirts out of the way on both sides. And then you want to bring this down. And this came undone as well. And this should tab in. Where at though? But it's definitely supposed to tab in. Oh, it's there. Right there and there. So try to get it in the right spot. This hip skirt comes down on front. And yeah, I'm not gonna mess with that right now. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. And that, I mean, I gotta get these tabbed in. That's not great, is it? But I'll get it all sorted. I'll get it cleaned up and we'll take a look at it. I've already showed you how to connect the other stuff to it if you're so interested. But, I mean, that's basically it. It's just not pretty. So let me try to get it pretty, so to speak. And there it is. And it's, you know, it's varying degrees of okay. I feel like more should have happened back here to kind of make this look better. I'm just not crazy about it aesthetically. I feel like, you know, this is a big bot, and I would imagine it's fairly expensive by kind of today's Hasbro standards, and I would think that they would want to have a couple more steps to kind of make this a little bit cleaner all around. But, I mean, it definitely looks like some sort of cannon, right? These connection points aren't the greatest either, and actually neither are the disc hinges for the shoulders. Like, they keep like drooping down and stuff. Like, it's not great. It's okay. Certainly not great. We've seen Hasbro do better recently. Size comparison wise, there it is with Tiger Tracks. Final thoughts wise, we'll start with the negatives. I don't care for the alt mode. I don't like the way it looks. The transformation to get there isn't the best. The side panels where it connects the arms and shoulders don't really connect the smoothest. The disc hinges don't support the weight well, at least on the copy I'm looking at. I just don't think much of it, I'll be honest with you. As for the robot, I actually think it looks okay, but the space mud looks terrible on the legs, and you can literally see the brush stroke. There's limited articulation in the head, and then you have these two gray accessories that form this mega gun, but they don't stay stuck together. The chain on the Matrix looks awful. So yeah, this is just pretty far from a home run. Pretty far. Positives wise though, I think the sculpt of the robot mode looks pretty good. I don't actually hate the kind of wear and tear on the purple. It has great shoulder articulation, great elbow articulation, and to be fair, most of the articulation works across the board, but those two in particular really do help you get some poses out of them. All in all, it kind of strikes me as a very average release, but at around the $50 mark, I kind of feel like we should have gotten more. I don't feel like this is a $50 figure. I mean, I've gotten SH Figuarts figures for around the $50 mark, so I'm just not sure how they justify this. I don't see it, so I can't recommend it. But it's okay. I don't hate it either. I don't think it's junk. I just think it's overpriced. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.